and welcome to the NDTV Aircel Save Our Tigers campaign. This week we're in Biligiriranga or the Biligiriranga Hills. In fact, legend has it that this spectacular rock that's right behind me, poised to the edge, which looks like it could just roll down the mountain any minute, is actually the footprint of Lord Ranganatha. The BR Hills is an extremely biodiverse and rich and unique ecosystem for various reasons. BR Hills is the only tiger reserve where the indigenous communities, or the Soligas as the people here are called, have the right to their land, won the right to their land, and not only are they allowed to live on their ancestral lands in the tiger reserve, they won the community rights to that land. And what that means is that they're allowed to cultivate on their land, they are allowed a certain amount of grazing on their land, and most importantly, they're allowed to gather a certain amount of minor forest produce, and what they gather is like amla, honey, lichen and things like that. This is the one park where the indigenous people, for most part, don't really want to move out. Their pantheistic beliefs are keeping them rooted to these lands that they've always lived on. So the big question is, does that pantheistic belief of the Soligas and the work that's being done by the Forest Department, can it come together, can it work together, and what does that really mean for the future of tigers in this landscape? A beautiful old tree stands spreading gracefully over a river. The breeze is cool and shushes through the leaves. I'm standing in one of the most sacred sites for the Soliga people here in the Biligiriranga Tiger Reserve. There are over 400 sacred sites in this forest, but this is the heart of the Soliga belief. Behind me is the great champak tree. It's estimated to be almost 800 years old. As you can see, there are trishuls with limes on them. A lot of the rocks that you see there are with the sacred ash on it are actually shivlings. They come here once a year for a great festival and a great prayer. This champak tree represents the heart of the Soliga faith, their lifestyle, the way they live, the way they entwine with the forest. The Soliga lives with their roots deep into the web of life here in the forest, and standing as tall as this tree and as ancient as this tree, the traditions of these people who live here. The Soligas live and breathe this wild ethos and have lived with the land as part of their daily life. It is the only tiger reserve where they have rights to their own land and live within the protected area. While conventional Western ideas of protected areas have long informed us that people and forests need to be kept separated in order for the forests to thrive, in BR Hills, this conventional wisdom has been turned on its head. Interestingly, in the last decade, tiger numbers have gone up here significantly, proving that the presence of the local indigenous communities has no negative effect on the forests. In fact, for years, while this area was quite neglected because of the dangerous Thug Veerappan and his band of thieves and poachers, it was the presence of the Soligas that helped keep the forests alive. In the Soliga worldview, they see themselves as an intrinsic part of the web of life around them and have a reverence and an understanding of the wild that surpasses a mere schoolroom understanding of the environment. Something that was made very clear to me when I spoke to a remarkable man, Mr. Gowda, a Soliga tribal who was educated by another remarkable man, Dr. Sudarshan, and who today has a PhD and fights for the rights of the forest dwellers, especially his people, and it has been a long fight.
There is no wildlife sanctuary. There is a reserve forest area. So there is a free to people can move anywhere and collect any NTPs. Usually earlier days the people used to use for the consumption, and later on in 40s the people are the contractor involved in the collection NTPs. They came to forest area and they used to collect NTPs. But that time we used to do, our community used to do shifting cultivation. When the forest department declared the wildlife sanctuary in 1974, so that time department, one of the DCF, I think that time, the Hulur, they usually people, our people also say that, he used to come to villages and beaten many people, and forcibly he shifted the our community to the some of the periphery of the forest area. Some of them are in the some roadside of the forest area. So basically, if we use the elephant also to destroy the crops, if people, our people used to grow banana, agriculture crops, So he come with the elephant and destroyed everything and shifted people. And also he did, they used the fire, they burned the entire huts, tribal huts, our huts, and forcefully they shifted.
With the introduction of the Forest Rights Act as a partial restoration of their rights has made things partially better.
For also we had some problem with the Forest Department on the Wildlife Protection Act. In the 2004, we used to get 60% of income from the NTPs. Then Forest Department under the Wildlife Protection Act, 2004 they banned the NTP collection. So our livelihood was depend on that. So we did 3-4 protests in the Chamaranagar, giving them a memorandum to the Chief Minister also. We went to Bangalore also, given the memorandum to Chief Minister. We organized even the State Wildlife Board meeting also, but meeting is not happen. So we struggled for nearly 4 to 5 years to get the NTP collection. And so people are faced a lot of problem, health problem, economy. So in case people are migrated, these are the issues. So this is when the Forest Rights Act came, this is an opportunity for us to get the rights back.
However, it is their own traditional unbroken systems of learning how to live in the wilderness that stands them in good stead.
In our community, we usually worship all the animals. People in the outside, they don't know usually. We worship tiger. The tiger is a god. We call Ulivirappa. Elephant, Ane Devar, we call our language. Then we worship bison, the Kati Devar. Then we worship bear, Karadi, we call Karadi Devar. We worship wild boar. This wild boar is our god. We have song also for that. Each song we have traditionally we worship. Each animal belongs to one clan group.
The Soliga collective, in a unique move, put together a memorandum of how they would like to protect the forests as well and contribute to the protection of tigers.
So when the government planning to declare the tiger reserve, so then we in 2010, and then we approached the Chief Minister of Karnataka, and we given the memorandum because people are living the many centuries in the forest area. So we don't want tiger reserve. So you can do the wildlife sanctuary, you can involve the community. So we given the memorandum. So then they started doing the tiger reserve. So then we did protests in Chamaranagar. We gathered around 3 to 4,000 people, Soligas. We given the memorandum to all the people. And then I went to Jairam Ramesh, the Forest Minister Central, given the memorandum also.
The Forest Department admits that in the last decade, tiger numbers have gone up, despite warnings that the presence of tribals inside the forests would disturb the animals.
If I talk to the people of whoever worked, my predecessors 10 years back, they say tiger sighting was very rare in BRT. Maybe once in a month or something like that was the trend. Certainly this forest has improved and tiger numbers and prey base has been increasing over the years. So the trend is really very encouraging. 2011-12 they have got 35 different individuals in camera trap and then 12-13 they got some 52, 13-14 they got some 50, and this year I think the numbers are actually being analyzed, not less than 50. So 50, that is direct camera trap images. So we have left some areas without camera traps. That will be so analyzed. If you take those into account, the tiger density is around it hovers around 9 to 10 individuals per 100 square kilometer. That is around 60 tigers maybe.